You are not lazy. I know that's what they've told you. It's what you tell yourself every time you look at the clock and realize the day is already half gone. You woke up at 11:40. You didn't get up. You reached for the phone. You scrolled for 40 minutes with a full bladder because you subconsciously know that the second you stand up, the real day starts, and you aren't ready for that. You have a folder of courses you never opened. A notebook with a perfect plan on page 1. Nothing on page 2. A room you won't clean because you don't feel like you're actually living there. You're not lazy. You're just terrified that if you start, you'll find out that potential was all you ever had. Jung had a name for this, the Provisional Life, a rehearsal for a performance that never happens. But here's the truth nobody says out loud. The rehearsal is the performance. You're already in it. Let's talk about why you're choosing to waste it. We call it the man-child. Psychology calls it Puer Aeternus, the eternal boy. But that sounds too soft. It implies innocence. It isn't. It's a paralyzing fear of reality. The Puer is obsessed with what could be. He lives in the future because the future is a fantasy where he is already successful, already loved, already accomplished. Reality, however, requires action. Action is messy. Action carries the risk of failure. So, he stays in the cage. He views adulthood as a death sentence, a loss of freedom. He doesn't realize the irony. The cage is his prison. This is a person who perceives even minor criticism as a total annihilation of his character. Why? Because his character hasn't been built. It's just a collection of fantasies. He needs constant external validation, but he refuses to do the work that earns that validation. It's a vicious cycle of craving success while dreading the effort that defines it. Where does this start? It's the gifted child trap. You were told you were so smart as a kid. That praise feels great, but it's a trap. It teaches you that your value is tied to your potential, not your performance. If you don't try, you can't fail. As long as you don't try, you remain a genius in waiting. You protect that fragile ego by doing absolutely nothing. It's a mechanism for survival. But there is a deeper layer. You are often living out the unlived life of your parents. They had dreams they didn't chase, or they pushed their failures onto you, creating a weight of expectation that feels impossible to bear. So, instead of trying, you freeze. You convince yourself that if you really tried, you'd be the best in the world. But that "if" is the most dangerous word in your vocabulary. It's the wall you've built to hide from the terrifying fact that you are just a human being, like everyone else. You are stuck in 3 specific traps. First, numbing. You don't scroll because you enjoy it. You scroll to silence the voice that says you're falling behind. You aren't relaxing, you're anesthetizing. This is the dopamine loop. Every time you feel that existential dread, you hit the scroll button. You turn your brain off. Second, the commitment phobia. You refuse to commit to anything because committing means closing doors. You want to keep every door open, which means you never walk through any of them. You're afraid that picking one path means failing at all the others you didn't pick. So you pick nothing. Third, victimhood. You blame the economy, your parents, your bad luck, your ADHD, your anxiety. You use your limitations as a shield. It's much safer to be a victim of circumstances than to be a failed agent of your own destiny. Anything to avoid the terrifying reality that your life is a direct result of the choices you made yesterday. Stop searching for passion. Start searching for responsibility. Here's the 4-step framework out of this. 1. Kill the fantasy. You are not a genius in waiting. You are an ordinary person, and that is a relief. Being ordinary means you can start small without the pressure of being great. Mourn the person you thought you would be. That version of you is dead, and he was never going to make it anyway. 2. Embrace the mundane. Do the dishes. Make the bed. These are not chores. They are evidence that you exist in the physical world. If you cannot manage your room, you cannot manage your life. 3. Failure exposure. Purposefully do something you are bad at. Let yourself suck. Get used to the feeling of failing and realizing the world didn't end. Your ego needs to be bruised to be hardened. 4. External structure. You have no discipline. Stop trying to find it. Create external systems, accountability partners, timers, strict routines that force you to do the work regardless of how you feel. Your feelings are not the boss of you. Your calendar is. The wake-up call. You are terrified of wasting your life, so you're wasting it to avoid the pain of finding out. It's time to let the perfect version of you die. He was never going to make it anyway. Only the version of you that is willing to be uncomfortable has a chance. This isn't a motivational speech. This is a wake-up call. You have spent years waiting for a signal that it's time to start. The signal is that you are still here and you are still unhappy. The clock is ticking and the rehearsal is over. The performance? It started the moment you decided to watch this video. The only question left is whether you're going to be a spectator in your own life or the main character. Now, go clean your room.